Welcome. This is the Luminous Commons. I'm Becca, your host. Let's talk about something I really love to talk about, manifestation. So, most people think manifestation fails because they're doing it wrong. Wrong words, wrong mindset, wrong vibration. That's not the problem. The real reason manifestation doesn't work is because it's being taught backwards. You're told to focus on what you want, but manifestation doesn't respond to desire. It responds to who you're being while you want it. If you've ever tried to manifest something and felt like you were fighting yourself the entire time, this episode is for you. Here's the truth that no one wants to say out loud. You can't manifest what your nervous system doesn't feel safe receiving. And until that's addressed, no affirmation, ritual, or vision board is going to override that. In this episode, we're cutting through the fantasy version of manifestation and getting grounded in what actually changes reality. Identity, coherence, and movement. No fluff, no bypassing. Just the mechanics of how this really works. Let's begin. Most people don't fail at manifestation because they're low vibration. They fail because they're trying to manifest from fantasy instead of reality. If manifestation feels hit or miss for you, or like it works for small things but collapses when it really matters, this episode is definitely for you. Today we're stripping manifestation down to what actually moves reality. No spiritual performance, no anesthetic rituals, and no pretending you don't feel what you feel. Manifestation is not about wanting harder. It's about becoming congruent. And most people are not. Here's the truth that manifestation teachings avoid. You are always manifesting. The question is from which internal state. Your nervous system, identity, and beliefs, structures, they're what's broadcasting instructions constantly. Affirmations don't override that signal. Vision boards don't override it. High vibes don't override it. Your body does. Manifestation begins with self-honesty, not positivity. If part of you doesn't believe what you're asking for is safe, deserved, or sustainable, your system will block it every time. You can say, I want abundance, but if your body associates money with pressure, collapse, or loss of freedom, it will quietly sabotage every opportunity. And that's not failure, that's protection. Manifestation doesn't respond to desire. It responds to coherence. And step one is to get radically clear on what you actually want, not what sounds evolved. Most people try to manifest what they think they should want. More money, a soulmate, a bigger life. But underneath that is often something simpler and more honest. Safety, rest, freedom, to stop proving themselves, to stop surviving. If you skip this step, you'll manifest substitutes instead of fulfillment. Ask yourself this plainly. If I had this thing, what would it finally let me feel? That feeling is the real target. Step two is to remove internal contradictions. You cannot manifest something that you're secretly bracing against. If you want visibility but fear being seen, if you want love but fear dependency, if you want ease but don't trust stillness, these contradictions aren't spiritual flaws. They're just integrated experiences. Manifestation accelerates when you stop fighting the part of you that's scared and actually listen to it. Your work is not to silence resistance. Your work is to resolve it. And step 3 is to embody the identity that already has it. This is where most people misunderstand manifestation. You don't act as if in a performative way. You decide who you are willing to be. Someone who receives constantly. They make cleaner choices, stop chasing, they stop waiting for permission, and they stop outsourcing authority. They move differently. Not louder or faster, just clearer. Manifestation follows identity, not effort. And step 4 is to take grounded, boring action. Real manifestation looks ordinary from the outside. It's the email sent, the boundary held, the habit changed, the truth spoken. If you're waiting for a sign before moving, you're still giving your power away. Movement is the signal. And here's the final piece that most people never hear. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you're ready to sustain. If something hasn't arrived yet, it's not punishment or misalignment. It's information. So instead of asking, why isn't this working and why can't I get it? Just ask, what version of me is required to hold this? Then become that slowly, honestly, and without theatrics. That's manifestation that lasts. Closing reflection for the listeners out there. Listen, what are you trying to manifest? And what part of you is still negotiating whether it's safe to receive it? Sit with that. Don't rush the answer. That's where the reality shifts. Thank you so much for being in this space with me. If you like, please hit subscribe. Share with a friend. It will really help me get this message out.